It's go time, boys. We're back again. This time, Mario's here with us, and so is Javier. That's how you pronounce it in Mexican. Yeah. How do I spell it?
Yeah.
H-A-I-V-E-R.
I thought it was H-A-W, like Haw.
Haw? Like how?
Javier.
Javier. All right, so it's time to finally jump into this car. The E30 is, I don't know where that's at for you guys right now, but we're chilling on the E30. 7's broken, 4 doors running and driving. So now it's time to tear this car apart. It's time for a good off-season refresher. We're gonna pull off all the body panels, turn it into a go-kart, get it back to black. And I think that with the rebuild of this car, the goal is gonna be to make it lighter and faster. Couple of like quick plans, potentially new doors that are carbon, lighter ESR wheels. We'll put some new ESRs on it. They'll look something like that. Potentially a nitrous kit as well, which I do have sitting in the shelf, and it's been in here for a while. But there's a nitrous bottle back there, just waiting to be installed. With that being said, I'm just gonna jump into a time lapse, get this thing completely torn down, and show you what it looks like when it is stripped. And the idea is like, I'll be searching for cracks and dents and different things that I can't see with the body panel on. And there's a bunch of stuff to rebuild. We gotta rebuild the front end. And then we're gonna redo some stuff with the cooling system as well. So strip this thing down and get it going. There it is. We got everything torn off. It all comes apart really easy. The body panels aren't hung on by a lot on this car. I took the quarter windows out too, and I haven't had this car down this far stripped since I built it pretty much. So if you remember a long time ago on the channel, we took this thing to Grange just like this. Chances are I'll take it out again like this to Grange, but it's nice to take it apart because look at all this built up rubber that's in here. Just on the chassis, like there's so much grime and dirt, and then even this is completely full. I think this is like 4.5, 5 inches deep of rubber. Like that's just packed in there. So I'm just looking at a couple of things on like where I can save some weight. So far I noticed like I still have these factory metal buckets in here. I can unscrew those and make those out of like plastic. I'd probably save a couple of ounces, to be honest. Nothing like really crazy, but I have a bunch of holes in the chassis too. So I'm gonna plug this up like we did on the rally car. Plug all these back up and try to eliminate the smoke from coming into the car, into the cabin really. And then I removed the doors, and these are skin doors, but they're pretty heavy. Watch, pick this up, Javier. Well, I picked the whole thing up off the floor.
I can't, it's heavy.
Like it's pretty heavy. I think these probably weigh like a solid 45, 50 pounds a piece. Between the two doors, there's roughly around 100 pounds just in that. But it looks pretty interesting. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a quick glimpse into what it looks like to tear down a Formula Drift car, and kind of how these machines are just built for battle. Like everything else that went onto this car is pretty much fiberglass minus the doors, and then the plexiglass as well. So you know what we should do is we should give them a sneak peek on the wheels. All right, let's pull these ones off. We'll pull these off real quick and show you what the white wheels look like. Here's one of the things I found. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I keep breaking the disc to the top hat on these, so, and that bolt's loose too. But this is the second time this has happened on this side, so I'll have to tear this apart and look on the inside. I do have the dual caliper brackets. I don't understand what's going on, but I'll have to look into that. Kind of a bummer, but whatever. Back to the wheels. So this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. These weigh a lot less than 3-piece ESRs. So I'm pretty stoked to kind of start to really focus on building this car for competition. But when I reassemble it, What I mean when I say build it is I mean just like reassemble it, but this time for competition. So like these are some test wheels. Oh, I didn't even zap those on. Over at, so these are the test wheels we had laying around over at ESR. I've always wanted the AP6s and I've always wanted them in white. So luckily they had these laying around. So we brought them here to test them. And this is a 9.5, so this is actually really cool. This is a big reason why I didn't run monoblocks. The way that ESR builds these particular wheels, come look at this. So when ESR manufactures these wheels, they do something really cool. A big reason I never ran monos is because I couldn't really find the right fitment that I wanted, especially with the Street Fighter LA kit. ESR does something really cool. So when they actually make these wheels, they do not come drilled. And the back pad, which is this portion here, look in here, Javier. This portion here, this back pad, stays this size. So for just spec reference, this is an 18 by 9.5 minus 10. And in a monoblock, that's really hard to find. But what they do is it starts off at a minus 10, and if you need it to be shallower, if you need your offset to be higher, then they'll shave down the back pad to your desired offset from -10 to whatever you want, and then they'll drill your bolt pattern. So you can really customize a monoblock for really, I think, the first time. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody else doing that. And so because ESR offers something like that, we are now allowed to go from their old 3-piece setup, which I ran these for a while and they are beat. I ran these for almost 4 years now. 3.5, 4 years. They need love bad. Like ESR, I'm sending these back to the ESR boys. They're gonna tear them apart, repolish them, make them all pretty again. But in the meantime, again, I wanna put this car back together and have this car be more competition oriented. And with this being more competition oriented, I wanted to throw on a lighter wheel. So these are about 2 pounds roughly lighter or heavier than like an Anki RPF1 in a similar spec. So they're only a couple pounds heavier than an RPF1, and RPF1s are pretty dope wheels and they're known to be really light and strong. We've been able to accomplish that with the forged technology with ESR, the AP6. They've also done knurling on the barrel, and if you guys are performance heads, the knurling helps the bead not walk off when you go down low tire pressures. This helps the bead seat. So typically if you lower pressure on a tire, you'll see the tire, if it's actually, if it's rested in this position, let's just say for instance you have the GT radio logo and the G's here as on a rear wheel. If the G is in this location and you lower the tire pressures and you spin it, you can actually spin the wheel inside of the tire, and now the G will go from being in this 12 o'clock position to, let's say, over here in this 2 o'clock position. Well, with the knurling, if you drop the tire pressure, it now only, the idea is that it stops the tire from spinning, but you're still going to get a little bit of spin on the wheel inside the tire. But now with the knurling, it'll minimize that spinning. The only way to truly stop a wheel from spinning inside of a tire is with a bead lock, which ESR also offers in 3-piece. I actually saw they were making some Huracan drag race wheels for, I think, for Sheepy Built or something like that. I don't know whose wheels they were, but they were 3-piece wheels, and ESR makes them, and they have bead locks. So, Bug Zapper's killing it, boys. So if you want some ESR wheels, make sure you hit those boys up. You can get custom offsets and bolt patterns for your car. We'll be running the AP6s, and then we have a new wheel coming out, but I can't really tell you about that, but it's a sick, lightweight monoblock wheel that's mesh, and it's pretty dope, and it kind of looks similar to that, but a little bit more traditional. It's dope. But this is what it looks like, dude. This is what the Pro car looks like when it's all stripped down. Now, I'm going to go through this, deep clean it. I got to deep clean the radiator in the back because the car's been getting hot, and after talking with Travis Reeder, I think the issue is that all of this stuff that you see built up here has actually flung its way up into the trunk space and found its way toward the radiator and clogged up the radiator. So I got to take the radiator out, blow it all out, clean it all out, and hopefully we can get this thing to start cooling properly again. With that being said, thank you, boys. Hot air. I have gone on YouTube for a long time and looked at other people's cars and gotten ideas. That's how I built this car. I've built it off of a lot of other people's ideas and kind of some ideas that me and the Proper Boys have. I'm not going to be afraid to like show you, what this car looks like when it's stripped down and where we have things mounted and stuff. If we can better the drifting world and have people build better, safer cars, faster cars, I don't really care, dude. I hope that there's something here maybe you'll learn as we go through this car and we rebuild it. But for now, We just wanted to get the strip down. As always, thank you for watching. I think I'm gonna change it. I think I'm changing it. I'm changing it from stay safe. We have a slogan, dude. I don't know why we're not saying our own slogan, dude.
I don't know why you're not saying
I don't know. You never said it.
I say it.
You said it?
I said it.
Say it right now.
The other day we were on the phone. And what'd I say?
Yeah, but everybody says it as a joke.
I don't say it as a joke.
In all seriousness.
All seriousness.
Hold fast, boys.